again! Introducing the
Guardian hit piece.
Supreme Victory!
Guys, your boy finally made it. I'm finally a part of a hit piece, and it's such an honor. You know, for the longest time, I've been wanting old media to come after me, and it finally happened. Now, it's not just solely me, I'm just a part of the hit piece, but that's still a huge honor. It's so much of an honor that I had to clear my schedule to make this video. I have so much going on. I'm moving this month. I have MythCon coming up. I'm gonna be in Milwaukee this weekend, so if you guys are gonna be in the area, you should come and see me. It's gonna be a good time. But I'm doing this because it's no secret that old media hates new media. You got all these old publications, all these people that are just dying out. They're dinosaurs. So they have to keep doing dirty and filthy tactics to stay relevant and to get clicks. You know, they obviously went after PewDiePie, the Wall Street Journal. There's things like Fader going after Fantano. There's a lot of things that have been going on. And then so now The Guardian is taking a huge jab at YouTubers with a little bit of help from somebody else, but we'll get into that by reading this article. YouTube's alternative influence network breeds right-wing radicalization report finds. And this wonderful gem is written by Olivia Solon. She's actually kind of cute. How you doing? YouTube provides a breeding ground for far-right radicalization, where people interested in conservative and libertarian ideas. Wait, hold on. I think this is supposed to be read with like dark, ominous tones behind it to really give you like a spooky overtone. YouTube provides a breeding ground of far-right radicalization, where people interested in conservative and libertarian ideas are quickly exposed to white nationalist ones, according to a report from Data and Society. And oh boy, when you go to datasociety.net, there is a 61-page research paper. Rebecca Lewis coins it. This is her work, and she's not a fan of us. She makes it abundantly clear on Twitter. And she wrote this and has a lot to say about us, and it's mostly negative. Although YouTube's recommendation algorithms are partly to blame, the problem is fundamentally linked to the social network of political influencers on the platform and how, like other YouTube influencers, they invite one another onto their shows. Let's start with this YouTube algorithm thing. They actually link to a video below that kind of goes into detail of what they're talking about and what their beef is, and I want to show you a little clip of it.
The 2016 presidential race was fought online in a swamp of disinformation, conspiracy theories, and fake news.
Breaking news for you right now, yes.
Hillary Clinton is harboring a secret medical condition.
When she started shaking uncontrollably.
Had a head bobbing episode.
Did you catch that? Let me play it one more time.
Had a head bobbing episode.
Okay. What is so lovely about that is they're trying to show that like Hillary Clinton's head bobbing, right? They're like, oh, yeah, she has a medical condition because her head just did this. It just did that. But they cut out the part when she spazzes out like crazy. Immediately after that, I can't take the video seriously because they're being dishonest. But I digress on that. Let me touch upon the subject of it's a problem that people are talking to each other. They're inviting each other on the other people's platforms like normal human beings do. Like, this isn't a revelation. This isn't something that like people just discovered. Like, oh, you have a platform and you're talking to other people that have similar platforms? That's fucking weird. The report describes an alternative influence network, about 65 scholars, media pundits, and internet celebrities promoting a range of right-wing political positions, from a mainstream conservatism to overt white nationalism. Well, I'm definitely not a scholar. I wouldn't consider myself a media pundit, so I must be an internet celebrity, and aw, thank you.
They don't give a fuck about you. They don't give a fuck about you.
Biggest red flag is saying that all of these people are promoting conservatism or white nationalism. The first thing is that, okay, number one, let's just say that there's some people that are promoting conservatism. Oh, is that really a big fucking deal? Is it really a big problem? Like, there's people that promote liberalism all the fucking time. Oh, but it's not a problem because that's where your ideas follow. They fall in line there. Now, as far as the subject of white nationalism, there's probably a few people on the list that they have compiled, and I'm gonna get to it later, that are actual white nationalists. And the vast majority of other people aren't promoting their bullshit in any way, shape, or form. But let's continue on with this hot garbage. Discussing images of the alt-right or white supremacism often conjures a sense of the dark corners of the internet. In fact, much extremist content is happening front and center, easily accessible on platforms like YouTube, publicly endorsed by well-resourced individuals and interfacing directly with mainstream culture. Deborah Lewis, a researcher that can't handle differing or dissenting opinions on the internet, and probably lives with 6 cats. At the more mainstream end of the network are people such as Ben Shapiro, Jordan Peterson, and Dave Rubin, self-described members of the intellectual dark web. The intellectual dark web is kind of tongue-in-cheek, something that Eric Weinstein really champions. He thinks it's really cute, and the other people have kind of played along with it, like Joe Rogan and others, but it's really silly. It's just another thing of a bunch of people that are highly regarded, highly revered, have a lot of influence, that are having conversations that other people aren't having, and people are mad about it. They're like, why are people talking to each other? It's like, shut the fuck up. While the mainstream members of the group typically don't subscribe to alt-right or white nationalist ideals, typically, they do host those who do under very friendly terms. This just reminds me of, like, remember that push not that long ago where civility was under attack? Like, being civil towards people was like a bad thing, especially if you detest them. You're like, no, you need to be a piece of shit to everybody that you don't like. And there's another example. It's like, I can't believe you're friendly towards these people. Yeah, do you think you would ever be able to have a conversation with any of these people if you weren't friendly? Even think about Trump and Hillary and stuff, right? Having debates and stuff. Are they screaming at each other and calling each other cunts? Which I think would be absolutely hilarious, and maybe I would be a little bit more interested in the political race if they were. But I'm saying, no, you're supposed to be chill and cordial. It's what you do. And I don't understand in what planet you think you wouldn't do that. Furthermore, when you show a lot of compassion towards people, it can really change them, especially when it comes to somebody who might be a white nationalist, for example. An example that always pops into my mind is Daryl Davis, the blues musician, who has a Netflix documentary called Accidental Courtesy. This dude, by befriending some KKK members, has converted dozens of people to renounce their racism, just by being their friends. So the next part of the article is just attacking Dave Rubin for bringing on Stefan Manu, who's talking about his all race realism and shit that I don't care about. And I understand why they're angry. I, quite frankly, don't really give a shit, like I just said. I want to get into the meat and potatoes, what you all came for. The sweet, sweet graph that sweet, sweet researcher made that strung us all together and show you how we're all connected. This is apex autism. This is like A Beautiful Mind meets Charlie Day from It's Always Sunny. This graph is a partial representation of collaborative connections with the Alternative Influence Network, a network of controversial academics, media pundits, and internet celebrities who use YouTube to promote a range of political positions, from mainstream versions of libertarianism and conservatism to overt white nationalism. This is the wackiest thing that I've seen, and I'm like, oh my goodness, I can't believe somebody spent time doing this. The next thing I want to point out is the color spectrum, which indicates how much connectivity you've had with everybody, and the highest color, or the darkest color, is maroon. But then, if you look at Andy Worski's name, it's black. It's just, he's so off the chart that they just put black. And I love that so much. It's so hilarious because it's one of those things. It's like, why wouldn't you make the color spectrum black? Why wouldn't you make that the highest thing? It's like Dave Meltzer's like rating system in wrestling, where it's like, you have a 5-star match, that's the best that you can have. And then all of a sudden he's like, oh, there's 6-star and 7-star matches now. You're like, you just fucking broke your own system. Now the last thing I want to point out about this graph is exactly why I chose the username that I have. It is just so delicious. It is so amazing. It is so juicy just seeing this graph that's supposed to be like, look at all these people. They're doing all this sinister stuff, right? And then smack dab in the middle, you just see some black guy. From the outside looking in, I imagine that there's people like looking at this, they're like, wow, this researcher just got really fucking lazy at the end. This graph is so silly and far-reaching. A bunch of people that I've never even heard of are associated with me somehow because they've been on so-and-so's platform, and so-and-so has been on so-and-so's platform, and then so-and-so was on so-and-so's platform, and then I was on their platform, so so-and-so is connected to so-and-so. I once dated this German girl, and she's from Germany, and Hitler's from Germany, and Hitler's a Nazi. So I think that makes me connected to Nazism. Tariq Nasheed, a black supremacist, once had a debate with Richard Spencer, a white supremacist. So that must mean that since they shared platforms, that Tariq Nasheed is promoting white nationalism. You know, I once made out with a girl that made out with another guy, and since me and that guy made out with the same girl, we're connected, and so does that mean I'm gay?
Yes.
I think you get the picture at this point. Now the rest of this article is just talking a heap of shit, saying, oh, they're making money and profiting off of super chats. Oh, they're trying to be careful with their language so they can be sneaky, especially when it comes to the white supremacists. Oh, they're talking shit about liberals and feminists, and oh, they're just a bunch of sexists and misogynists and racists, and YouTube needs to clamp down and needs to really just check them and make sure they're not doing anything that I don't like. You know, it's not about if they're breaching stuff, right? It's not about if we're actually violating terms of service. It's all about, are we doing things that are offending this poor soul? Obviously we are, but the thing is, I think we can all collectively say, suck my dick.